everybody, welcome to Stoned React. So glad you're here joining me. We're going to dive into this most recent video that Foodie put up called My Crabs Have Barnacles on Them Mukbang. I am so pissed. Okay, I did a reaction like 20 minutes into this video, and then suddenly my system, like my microphone, acted wonky. It didn't even capture what I recorded. So we're going to go at this again.
So welcome back to another video. Alright, disclaimer, this is an eating on camera video. So if you are triggered by eating noises, messy eating, just people eating in general, and fat people eating what they want, this is not the video for you. So
even though all those things I can't stand, I am still going to watch you, Chantal. You cannot get rid of us that easily.
For those of you remaining, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna say right now, I have a lot to talk about today. A lot of my mind.
Here we go.
You know, some days I'm less talkative. Today I'm talkative, and today I have.
Because I'll tell you what, I watched your video yesterday. I was gonna hang myself. It was so boring.
Chinese food, because you know, I love Chinese food. I get this craving.
Oh my God, she's doing Chinese. I wonder how often she does Chinese. I mean, we probably get it like once every like 4 months or something. We don't get it that often. It's not really healthy.
Every once in a while. Probably at least once a week. At least.
Wow, once a week she gets Chinese. That's a lot. That's a lot for someone at her weight. I mean, like, who cares if you're healthy, fine, whatever. But like at her weight, having all that sodium and those calories and, you know, I don't know. It's not a good idea.
So, of course, my cat.
Hello! You want some food?
I hate when she talks to the animals like that.
This place makes the best iced tea with the lemons.
She's got her iced tea laden with sweetener.
Slices. She was sleeping comfortably in her box mountain. I know people are like, box mountains.
Oh, that's just great. She's got another box mountain accumulating in her apartment because we know she's way too lazy to break down those boxes herself. And, you know, her real, not so real husband who doesn't reside with her in the box within the box within the box probably doesn't break them down for her either because he has probably his own family he has to deal with.
Starting, yes. Well, it's a box for my cat. You know, I have 2 boxes right now littered around the place because cats love boxes, and every time I find a nice box, sorry, why are cats so cute that you like feel the need to talk in a weird, nonsensical way? All right, let's open this up. So today I'm trying something different here on camera. Actually, I don't want to wear my ring for this because I don't want it to get.
That's when we know she's getting serious, when she takes that ring off.
Dirty. I have spring rolls, which is a must for me. And wow.
Wow.
I don't know if I can give you any of this, Julia, but I kind of regret ordering this because I feel grossed out. I ordered crab, but crabs remind me of giant spiders. And the legs are freaking me out, but the taste of crab is so good.
So what she's got here looks like, yeah, a bunch of crab, and then she's got 3 spring rolls. Now, I would say if she was making a proper choice, she would only eat one of those spring rolls and the crabs, and she would be fine, minus the sweetened iced tea.
I wish I could hire someone to just crack the crab for me and give me the meat.
Gosh, you're lazy, Chantal.
Professional crab cracker. All right. Smells like seafood. No, it smells good. So this is just steamed crab with vegetables. I don't have any utensils for crabs. Let me have a sip of this.
How you gonna?
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Let's have a spring roll first. So I want to tell you some things about binge eating, okay? Because I get quite a lot. I'd say the majority of my comments some of you, beezers, etc., leave nothing but positive, loving comments, okay? And people seem to think that these people are ass kissers.
They very well could be.
Here's the thing. I want you to just disregard what I'm eating and think of binge eating disorder as not what I'm eating, but as a mental restriction with food, okay?
What?
Let me see if I can give her something.
A mental restriction of food. Binge eating. Okay. I'm going to hang in there because I'm curious to see where she's going to go with this.
Julia?
I want to see what her rationale is.
No sauce.
Do you like crabs? Do you like crabs? You like crabs?
I don't know. Can cats have shellfish? I don't know.
Here's some crabs for you.
I wonder if Howie likes crab. Try to save him some. Okay. Yeah, as an attitude towards food, basically, like, there is a lot of mental conditioning. I think diet culture literally conditions people to have eating disorders. Like, for example, all of these comments I see, these people are conditioned as well. Like, saying, you know, this is a reasonable meal to me, okay? You might think the spring rolls are fried, they're not healthy. That's your personal opinion.
You might think the spring rolls are fried. That's your opinion. That's what she just said. You might think the spring rolls are fried. Not that we know the spring rolls are fried. We might think they are because she knows better.
And you may be right, but it still doesn't exacerbate an eating disorder. What does, and I've learned this, and I know you're thinking, oh, you're an expert on eating disorders? Yes.
Chantal, there are bad foods and good foods. A lot of your choices in food options are bad. Okay? Like crab, good. Spring roll, yeah, good, but it's fried, so you might want to just stick with having one. Sweetened iced tea, bad idea.
I have an eating disorder, therefore I want to become an expert on it so that I can learn from it.
But your idea of being an expert on something is Googling it and looking at other YouTubers and what they have to say. If you really want to be an expert on something, get to know yourself, go to your doctor, get a proper physical, get the type of help that you would need to get over this issue that you have. And it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, you're like completely delusional. I think you think somebody has some magic thing and can snap a finger and all of a sudden you're going to be all done with all your disordered eating and thinking and everything like that. It's not going to happen.
And I can help others and I can cure myself.
You don't help others. You don't. What you show on your channel is absolutely disgusting. The way you eat is unhealthy, like 95% of the time. You lie an unbelievable amount. So we can't even believe that if you're saying this is what you ate, that this is actually what you just ate. Because we know there's a lot more behind it.
And I can help myself by educating myself on the matter. Like, for example, if somebody's diagnosed with cancer, it's not uncommon for them to go and seek educate themselves and seek out, information that could.
So I've known, many of us have known people who have went through cancer. I have too. Chantal, what they do is they immediately make an appointment with an expert in the field, someone who specializes in cancer, in their particular cancer. They might go get multiple opinions from different doctors if they have a decision that needs to be made. That's understandable. That yes.
Could help them better understand what they're going through.
But Googling is not, or watching other YouTubers is not really the way you want to go with this, Chantal. If you want to do it properly, you would go seek medical help.
So, just vegetable spring roll. That's something that I've been doing. And something clicked, like, okay, it's about the mental conditioning. So you have to mentally decondition yourself. to labeling food as bad. So when you watch me,
So what she said is you want to mentally decondition yourself from labeling food bad. I disagree with that. I do. There are bad foods and there are good foods. This is a fact. Something processed is obviously bad. If you were to choose a Snickers bar over an apple, that would be considered a poor choice in a healthy diet. If you choose fried chicken over a grilled chicken breast, you're making a bad decision. That's bad. Fried is bad. In your state, in your weight, in your condition, it is a bad decision to make.
you say that food is going to kill you, that food is bad. No, food is food. It's not evil, it's not good, it's neutral. It's
See, Chantal, I obviously have a very different relationship with food. Like, I look at certain food and I know it's bad. To me, that is evil, okay? It's going to put, like, weight on my hips and my butt and I work too hard to lose weight. So, yeah. Yeah, there are foods that are bad, or however you want to say evil. I don't know where you get evil from. Food can't be evil. It's impossible. But there'll be bad foods. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with good and bad. There's good and bad. That's just life. You can't get rid of all the bad. It's not going to happen.
just food. It's how we utilize things, right? It's like blaming the gun for shooting somebody. It's the same thing. And restriction and cutting out certain foods, such as saying, this is bad, I shouldn't eat this, I should just eat some vegetables and some crab. It is restriction, and that perpetuates the binge cycle. So I'll post the binge cycle here.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. So she found this obviously by doing a Google search, which shows the binge cycle. So first is the struggle. You feel guilty or ashamed, like you're a failure, you regret the binging. Okay? Then you go into restrict. So now I understand where she's getting the restricting from, because I understand now what she means by that. Because when she said restricting at the beginning, I thought she was out of her mind. But what she's talking about is eating less than normal, eating only certain types of food. And then you have the struggle, feeling obsessed with food, feeling hungry, binge, give in to cravings, eat more than usual, feel out of control. So this is where I think she misunderstands things, and it's in the restricting, because she seems very hyper-focused on that portion. So when it comes to restricting, there's a very different thing when it comes from restricting and omitting. If you're completely omitting something from your diet and eliminating it completely, for example, if you were to become a vegan and you ate a traditional American diet, you would be omitting, eliminating a lot of foods, meaning you will never eat them again. Restricting, from how I take it, is when you restrict. So that could mean you eat less of a certain food or you eat it less often. You change how often or how much of something you eat. So you're restricting it. You're restricting how much of it you will have, or if you will have it as often or not as often. She's looking at restricting like you've completely omitted and eliminated a food. And that is so not true. When you're restricting, you're simply restricting. You're not omitting. She's just getting confused. And of course, if you go and omit an entire food, let's say ice cream. My family, we love ice cream, okay? Like when I was a kid, I think I ate it like every day. That's a food that triggers me. I love ice cream. But since I've lost all this weight and kept it off, it's important to me to stay healthy. So what I'll do is I'll restrict how much ice cream I eat. I don't eliminate it because I still want it and I still love ice cream. But instead of eating it every day, I might eat it for 1 week. I'll buy a carton of ice cream and I'll eat in a little coffee mug every day a scoop of ice cream. Visually, I feel like I'm eating a lot, right? Because I have it in a coffee mug. But instead of putting it in a bowl, because normally when you put it in a bigger vessel, you want to fill it up, right? So you put it in a smaller vessel. So I'm still enjoying it, but I'm not eating nearly as much of it, and I'm not eating it as often. That's called restricting. So when I do that, I don't get obsessed about the food. I don't feel hungry, so I don't end up binging because I've indulged in it, I enjoyed it, and I'm satisfied. But if you're going to restrict, like, I mean, I remember when I went vegan, like years ago, and I restricted like everything animal. That was an extreme thing, right? Because you get to a point where you're just restricting so much, you either become obsessed with it or you're going to end up going the other way and you're going to end up binging on everything that you've cut out of your diet.
So here's the binge restrict cycle, and here on the diagram you can see restricting is a huge part of it. Eating less than normal and eating only certain types of food, so completely eliminating foods, even trigger foods. We have to learn to neutralize.
See, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with what she's saying. For restricting, you're restricting something. You're not omitting it. You're not eliminating it completely. So this, I'm trying to see what this thing is saying. Reframing thought. I don't know where she got it. Okay, focus. Okay, so the website is Focus Integrative Centers. I don't know what that is. Okay.
Those trigger foods and reframe the thoughts and let go of those mental restrictions.
Okay, so yeah, I just want to go back.
Reframe.
Okay. So one of the reframe quotes says, I can eat this candy mindfully and stop when I am at a comfortable level of satiety. Sorry. This candy will not hurt me, and there is no need to put limitations around it. I can only eat when I want to only reach blah weight, then I need to cut back. What? Okay, I can eat this candy mindfully and stop. That's more restricting, right? You're allowing yourself to have the candy, but you're not going to eat as much of it. Like my husband loves to get these Snicker bars for us, and it's like the 2-pack. So you might say, I'll just eat one, like half. I'll eat one of those instead of eating two. So I'll stretch it out. I'll save the candy for another night. Like that's restricting.
Reframe the thoughts and let go of those mental restrictions.
But you're putting those restrictions on yourself. I mean, you're putting undue pressure on yourself. If you did it realistically to what works for you, I'm telling you, you find a good rhythm. Once you start losing weight, you find a good rhythm. You find where it is that works for you. Everybody's different. She doesn't do anything long enough to know if it's going to actually work for her. And this is a problem. She's never stuck to anything long enough.
Hi, baby girl.
Don't touch the cat and then touch the food. Oh, God. Gross.
And as you can see,
What the freak is she doing?
sauce.
Gross.
As you can see, that guilt, that restriction when you overeat, like, okay, I'm not going to eat this anymore at all.
That's where you're wrong. That isn't what you're supposed to be telling yourself. I'm not going to eat that ever again at all. If I told myself that, let's say for ice cream, I would be eating ice cream every freaking day. Okay? Because it would be such an unrealistic expectation for me. Like, I still want to have ice cream. But I found a way to maneuver around it. I figured out a way to incorporate it in my diet without it having a negative impact. I just don't eat it as often and I don't eat it as much.
No, it doesn't work that way. That causes a binge.
Of course it does. If you eliminate a food, no doubt at some point you're going to end up binging on it. I mean, maybe it doesn't happen to everybody, but a lot of people can relate to that.
I hate to use this as an example and I'm not targeting,
God,
I'm not
here we
being
go.
rude.
Here we go. She's going to bring up somebody. She's going to talk about somebody. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
But it is public, so I'm allowed to comment on it.
Oh,
You know,
God.
just like you guys say about me. You put it out there, people can comment. A hungry fat chick
I knew it.
was doing...
Jealous.
She has binge eating disorder too. I know exactly what she's going through. I fully support her, and I feel like she's, you know...
Jealousy.
I understand what she's going through, okay?
Jealousy.
But what I don't support is the carnivore diet because
Oh man, don't even tread there with me. Don't even tread there with me. Okay. Okay.
it's super unreasonable. It's counterproductive to binge eating recovery. Okay? And that's how I've done that for so many years too. I still struggle every day with that mindset. Okay.
So she's sitting here saying a carnivore diet is such a hugely restrictive diet, which, okay, I agree. And it is such a bad, bad thing. It is so bad. This is coming. Now, let's remember, this is coming from an individual who just, what, a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, was going to do a water fast for 40 days. She didn't even last a day. This is coming, she's bashing the carnivore diet where you do get your nutrients in the diet. And she's saying this after she was going to do a 40-day water fast, completely depleting her body of any nutrients. Everybody has different reasons for why they fast and how long they fast. For me, it's more of a spiritual thing, but everybody has their reasons. But you're sitting there talking about a carnivore diet being so restrictive. However, you just a couple weeks ago was going to do the most restrictive thing you could possibly do, and that's a water fast for 40 days. Tell me, how does that make you a person qualified to criticize the carnivore diet? You know nothing about it. And look, I'll agree. It's a very strict diet. I've done it. I did it for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. But here's the interesting thing is that if you do carnivore, you get all your nutrients. It's not like you're depleted of anything. Now, my husband, who's in the medical field, swears by the keto diet. That's his thing. It took him like 6 years to convince me that it's even a, a legit thing because I was so anti that. And I did that carnivore. It was more like ketovore I did, where you can have like some vegetables, but very, very little. It's mostly all meat. And I don't know what happens, but at some point, like something flips in you and you feel so satisfied. Like you actually can go fine with one meal a day. Like you're completely satisfied. You have energy, you have mental clarity. It's interesting what happens, when you change your diet. But it's not an easy thing to stick with. Some people do. Some people do it for years. I can't. I can do it for like periods of time. But again, she's no position to sit there and say that carnivore is some horrible thing. She probably doesn't even know much about it. I can tell you that. I don't think she does. And look, I'll give Hungry Fat Chick credit where credit is due. The woman went through the whole, 30 days? Okay, she messed up at the end, but she hopped back on, right? I mean, she at least put herself through it.
Hey, every time I eat something like this, I immediately think after, oh my gosh, I did so much wrong today. I might as well go binge out. No, I have to like catch myself and recondition my thinking, getting rid of those food rules, saying, it's fine. I had a few spring rolls. I'm not, nothing's going to happen. I can have them again in the future. This is not bad food. Okay. It was a single portion that I bought. So it's like carnivore diets like that are restrictive. You cannot, with somebody with binge eating, you cannot, and I think they can cause binge eating. Because what happens when so many people fall off? Why? Why do people fall off? Because
I have to note here that I'm not picking on anyone. I go through the same cycle over and over as well, especially when I restrict. I mean restrict with fad diets. Fruit.
Okay, so carnivore actually isn't a fad diet, okay? I don't consider it a fad diet. I think like a fad diet is like, I don't know, like some wild drink you have to drink or pill you have to take.
Fruit only diets, etc. I'm not saying all diets are bad, but they are counterproductive to healing from binge eating disorder.
Here's the thing, Chantal. Everybody is different. everybody is different. Some people are able to do it. I mean, I'm on carnivore Facebook groups and I'm amazed at how people transform their bodies. Like they do it for like a year or 2 years, whatever. It's amazing. They have muscle, they look healthy, they're standing up straight. Like they just look great. To me, it's encouraging. But it's a hard thing for something that's that restrictive. It's like being a vegan, right? Carnivore, vegan are two different extremes. It's going to be hard to stick to that. Not everybody can do it.
And have to get back into keto reboot or whatever. You think that eating red meat every day with butter on it is healthy? Really?
It is so delicious, Chantal. You're missing out. It's so good. Like if that's all you eat, your palate starts to crave that. I don't think she'll ever be able to understand that because she's never eliminated sugar completely from her diet or eliminated carbs in a large portion. It does change you. I can tell you one thing: cutting my carbs way down low and eliminating sugar, it's so good the results. But it's difficult. It's not easy.
And nothing but that? You want steak, have it steak, butter, baked potato, broccoli. What's wrong with that? Are you going to tell me a baked potato is going to kill you?
Okay, you're talking about a baked potato. There's nothing wrong with a baked potato, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But what matters is what you slop on it or in it.
People demonize carbs because of the sugar. But what about the cholesterol and fat, saturated fat in steak and butter? I mean, you're omitting a very important part of your diet, okay? You're removing all pleasure from eating, you know? Baby girl, I gave you...
I was very satisfied. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I did not feel like I was missing out on anything. Once my palate changed, and I would say it probably took like a week for my palate to change, I had no desire for like sugar. It was actually weird. I remember when I first put something sugary in my mouth again, and I was like, oh, like it was strong. Like I couldn't believe like how powerful the sugar was when I tasted it.
Enough crabs. You can't have any more crabs.
I was eating my diet meal lunch yesterday.
Okay.
And it was a nice burger, nice bun. It must have had egg in the bun or something. She loves eggs. And it was a turkey burger with a few wedges. And she jumped up, and I thought she was just going to stare at me as always. She took the whole bun in her mouth and ran with it.
Baby girl, you don't get it. You don't get it.
Baby girl. Anyway. I mean, you know, so that's my point with that. There's something. All right, let's try this crab.
Sorry, I had to skip forward.
On more. Okay, let's see. What's in here? Do you eat these little legs or what?
Oh, God.
Because I saw a chef cut one up alive.
Cut a crab up
And I felt really
alive?
bad for the crab. Even just the shell has so much flavor. Have a few veggies here. So anyway, yesterday's mukbang, for example,
That was a snore fest.
I ate until I was full. I had 3 fajitas. That's so...
See, in that fajita situation, Chantal, you could have just eaten 1 or maybe 2. Challenge yourself. Like if there's 3, say it's okay. I can have more later, right? Like no one's gonna steal your food. No one's gonna take your food away. You can eat it tomorrow. If you put that in your mind, you won't feel this desire to have to eat everything all at once.
so tasty. I have 3 fajitas. And some chips. I didn't even finish the chips. So, how?
That was a lot of chips, Chantal. You can't even tell me that you don't agree with that. That was an insanely large amount of chips. I've never seen a restaurant give that many chips.
How is that?
God, she's cracking it with her teeth.
What the heck is that?
Just gonna move along here.
Here.
God, stop giving a cat the food.
To America. Anyway. So, that's it. I'm gonna keep eating what I want. Some days I'm hungrier than others.
You do you.
And
that's so gross. That cat's on the table is nauseating me to no end.
That's how it is. Baby girl, I'm giving her all the good meat from inside the knuckle here. I come across a nice chunk with no sauce, I'll give it to you, okay, honey? Here. So I just want to say
okay,
that I've been watching some weird videos.
Alright.
Some interesting videos. And
like what?
Look, I get a lot of hate for everything I do. Baby girl, no. Come on. I'm highly conscious.
You know what, Chantal? There's this thing that you learn about animals. If you don't feed them off the table, they'll never know to beg for stuff. Okay? Like, I have a dog and a cat, and I never have an issue. However, family members in my house that do it have an issue every time they eat the pets, like, all on top of them. I have zero tolerance for that.
Controversial in everything I do. Especially what I eat. Everything. So, that being said, one of the big controversies as well is filming in public. I've learned a lot about that. I get it. Private places are not public. But when you're...
Yeah, that's one thing I can't stand is those people who like do those gym videos and make fun of people that are near them or behind them and make these viral videos. I'm sorry, it's wrong. It totally turns people away from going to the gym. Like, there should be places where you can be able to go and feel like you can work out or do whatever it is that you're going to do and not feel like it's going to end up all over the internet and someone's poking fun at you. And like, someone who's new, like, I've gone to the gym all my life, so it doesn't, it's not an issue for me. But I have friends that are very, like, sensitive. They always feel like people are watching them. They feel like people are criticizing them in the gym, judging them, And then when somebody's then, doing video in the gym, they feel like I don't have privacy. I look like an idiot,
When you're out in the public, if you're leaving your house, and I'm talking about people being filmed on camera, if you're out in the public, you have to expect
Well, look, people expect to end up in people's videos, but I don't think people expect to end up in people's videos that end up on a YouTube channel. I think that's where the difference is. You know, it's an entirely different thing if like the news is out in the street and they're interviewing people and there's people walking behind and they're ending up in the video. You can't help stuff like that.
That there's a limited amount of privacy that you're going to have. And people out in public filming, you might be caught on their camera. Now again, I know private is different. But let's say you go to a public office, public library, sidewalks, fair game, okay? So I don't want to hear people saying, you're filming that poor person in public, the license plate.
Well, you can put a little work in and just, you know, fuzz them out on your video. I mean, somebody's license plate, yeah, you should fuzz that out. It's like I watch these like true crime, like court things and prison calls and all this stuff, and like sometimes these YouTubers don't zero out like phone numbers being told, social security numbers being told. Like it's very upsetting when I see people do that. Like if you're gonna acquire something that has confidential information on it, you should really make it a priority to protect those people, because not all of them are involved, that these numbers are coming out. And it's the same thing with, you know, video.
Legal. So I was watching, and I learned this because I was watching these auditors.
God, stop giving the cat food.
Okay,
You're
honey,
grossing
look,
me out.
Look.
So nasty.
Look.
Yes, and all that cat's gonna do is beg you for
She
food
loves
constantly.
crab. I can't help it.
Well, you stop. You
Here.
shouldn't have ever given it in the first
Here.
place. Ugh, I can't do it.
Come
I
on.
can't do it. I can't.
First
Can't.
Amendment.
Okay, go ahead. First Amendment. Go ahead. Go ahead. Stop sucking the freaking crab. Just
Basically
tell us.
states that you have a right, like you cannot be prosecuted, sorry. You have freedom of press.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Your right to freedom of speech, okay?
You're in America? I didn't know she was a U.S. citizen. Really? Wow, that's new.
So these auditors, they go around. Let's say they go in like a sheriff's office or a city hall, okay?
Okay, go ahead. Go on. Tell the story. Stop sucking the freaking crab. Just tell the story.
And they always get told, you can't record in here. And the guys are like, yeah, we can. This is a public office. There's no law that this is a constitutional right, yada, yada, yada.
You see what that cat is doing? The shell's playing with it. Because I can see, look at her eyes. It's right on the cat. She's watching what he's doing. That cat should not even be on the table. It is absolutely disgusting and unsanitary, Chantal. You're disgusting.
No. Okay, enough.
You're creating a monster.
They're always met with the same thing. The cops get called. And the cops usually end up going away because they don't have any reason, lawful reason, to arrest these people. Now you might say, oh, it's petty. Yeah, kinda, but no, I mean, if you're going into a public office.
Oh my God, Chantal, move that freaking cat. That's
You
so
want to exercise your
disgusting.
right. I get that.
All up in the litter box. Now he's walking on your table. Gross.
Honey, why are you annoying me today?
Because you keep feeding the cat. I can't do this. I can't. This is killing me. This is nasty. Nasty. Nasty.
Phew.
Gross. Oh
I
my
don't want her
God.
peeing on my bed. I shut her in when we had company once because
They don't like cats?
some of the company was wearing dish dasha,
What the hell is Distasha?
and she thought it was a toy. Like, she started going after these people's dish dashas. So I cannot have that.
Why didn't you put
So
the
I tried
litter
to put her
box
in
in
the
your room?
with the litter box and her things, and she peed on my bed.
Well, she was at you. That's what cats do.
Here,
God damn, Chantal.
man, she really loves crab.
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus, that she does not have children. I mean, they would have no discipline, no structure, no nothing. They would be, God, just seeing her with the pets, I can just imagine what, oh God, thank you, she doesn't have kids.
And people who say, "Ew, get your disgusting cat off the..." Listen, lady. Or man. I love my cat. And I love her more than human beings. So that's not going to happen.
So, Chantal, a lot of us love our animals more than we do human beings. I'm right there in the bucket with you. I get it. I know. They love you unconditionally, right? They don't judge you. They don't nothing. But a cat doesn't belong on the table. It is unsanitary. The cat goes in the litter box. His little paws, God knows what's in them. You don't keep your house clean. You probably don't keep the litter box very clean, because we know from the past. So what you're doing is extremely unsanitary and disgusting and gross. It's a turn off. It's a put off. People don't like to see it. That's fine. If you want to do it on your time, that's fine. But like, people don't want to see this. It's gross. It's unsanitary. And didn't she have some type of cat illness? Some poop illness or something like that? Yeah, she's gross.
So that's my explanation of everything. So yeah. This is really good, but pain to eat. Okay, no more. Please stop beezing. I know I feed her, it's my fault. Okay, I understand that.
100%. This is the first true fact you have stated. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. She's absolutely right. It's all her fault.
I do. I really... Oh, now you're going to clean yourself, huh? I cannot have seafood and not feed her some. I love crabs.
Ay, ay, ay.
Exercise their rights. They usually get in trouble. But they educate the people. Like, I'm allowed to be here.
I can't believe she's cracking these
Yada,
shells
yada,
with
yada.
her teeth. Unbelievable.
Over. Good girl. Like, sure, and whatever else.
We're obviously getting to the end here.
Whoa.
Oh boy. Ah, yeah.
Can't. It's like impossible. They had all different kinds of crab, and they had like Szechuan lobster.
Crab is good for you. Lobster's good for you.
But it was like an arm and a leg, literally. So expensive.
Lobster's very expensive.
Okay. I'm not going to torture you guys anymore.
Hallelujah.
A pleasure.
Okay, guys, we're going to end this here. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know your thoughts, anything below in the comments, and we'll catch up. Until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous day.